take away dead things. So as you can see, the environment dictates the presence or the action of these little microorganisms. Now the carbon cycle is acknowledged on the rainforest floor, isn't it? It's acknowledged in the compost bin. I'm a gardener. I have 3 compost bins. 1 compost bin, I'm adding 2. What's it smell like? Bad. Because these guys give off very bad fumes, quite toxic fumes. My middle compost bin is just sitting. What does it smell like? Bad too, because these guys are very active. But my 3rd compost bin, it smells good, because all the work's been done and all the matter has been brought back to what? Dust. You see, my nose will tell me when I can use my compost bin. I've got a man that helps me, and I said, what's that 2nd compost bin doing? He said, nah. He said, I lifted it this morning, it still smells. But the 3rd compost bin, I've been known to be with a girlfriend who's a gardener too, and I say, come and smell my compost. And I get a handful of it. What does it smell like? Earth. Don't you love the smell of earth? Do you know, when my nose tells me it smells like earth, it's ready for the garden. Let's have a look and see what it does in the garden. Here are the roots of a plant. When I put the compost into the dirt, what's my compost alive with?
Microorganisms.
There's a basic law of science that says nothing's created and nothing's destroyed. It just changes roles. Don't we know it? A tree's growing, it falls down and dies. My husband comes along with the chainsaw, chops it up. We chop it into smaller bits, we put it in the fire, it gives off smoke, it gives off warmth. And after a couple of months, what have I got to clean out of that fire? Ash. You see, nothing's created and nothing's destroyed. It just changes form. And so, this dust that I put into my garden, does it give me beautiful plants? Yes. The best. Why does it give such beautiful plants? Because what's it full of? Microorganisms. They haven't been destroyed. They evolve into bacteria, yeast and fungus and mould, and when they've done their job, they devolve, so to speak, back to their little microorganisms. So I put my compost around my spinach plants, which I did recently, and a couple of days later they're looking green and strong, because the little microorganisms that were in the compost, they're very active in the soil, and in the soil they break down the minerals to make them available for the plant. Aren't you glad we don't have to eat dirt to get our minerals? We couldn't get them anyway. They wouldn't be available to us. But these little microorganisms in the soil, they break down the minerals, make them available for the plants, and I'm sure at lunchtime we'll be eating some green plants. So at lunchtime, children, when you're eating your green plants, you're eating your minerals. That's why organic gardening is so important, because superphosphate, it causes these little microorganisms to go into dormancy. Nothing's breaking down the minerals and making them available for the plants, and the plants are deficient. And when the plant's deficient, guess what? So are we. Not only that, they break down heavy metals and make them available for the plants. As they're breaking down the minerals and the heavy metals, different things are released that are all the minerals that are vital for the proper running of our human body. Do you know a very similar thing happens in our gastrointestinal tract? Our gastrointestinal tract is lined with little villi that look just like the roots of a plant, and they do a similar thing as the roots to a plant. Over these little villi is your bloodstream. Inside your gastrointestinal tract, you have microorganisms. The two permanent ones are Lactobacillus acidophilus, you've heard of that, and Bifidus bacterium. We call it acidophilus and bifidus, or we'll go even simpler, we'll call it the A and the B. So the A and the B are the two bacteria that live in our gastrointestinal tract. As the food comes down, these little microorganisms break down some of the nutrients and make them available, specifically your B vitamins. And your B vitamins are essential to the proper running of the cell. Inside every cell, you have a little furnace. In your muscle cells, you have sometimes 3 furnaces. Did you know that? And in that furnace, glucose from your food and oxygen is burnt to give you energy. Now I'm going to magnify this even deeper. We're going down to the cell. We're going even further into the little furnace. We're going even further into the little furnace, into the energy cycle. And here it is. So this is highly magnified. We've got a big magnifying. We've got a microscope. Now the glucose goes in, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's about 14 different chemical reactions before the energy comes out. Every single one of those chemical reactions is either B1 or B2 dependent. So if you're low on your B vitamins, how's your energy levels? And sometimes people are low on B vitamins because what are they low on? Acidophilus and bifidus. What kills off acidophilus and bifidus? Antibiotics do a great job. Sugar does a fantastic job. Alcohol does a great job. So we've got to keep away from those things. How many people do you meet today have a big complaint? No energy. Huh? So many. When you refine grain, when you refine wheat, rye, rice, 80% of your B vitamins thrown away. When you're eating white flour products, it's like eating the banana skin. Huh? You don't throw the banana away and eat the banana skin, do you? And so with your white products, you've actually thrown away the best. You've thrown away your B vitamins. Now, particularly your brain. You want your brain to function a bit better? Try some B supplements. They can really spark it. So you see how everything's connected. We've got to eat the whole grain foods, but we've got to make sure we've got the right organisms in our gut. And a good way to spark that up is to take an acidophilus and bifidus powder supplement. Sometimes you only need to take it for a month to really boost it up again. I'll tell you a little hint, and you might think this is not the place, but we have to realise we've got to know something about our bodies. When you go to the bathroom, and I know in America you call it that, have a little look, and if they float, you've got a nice amount of acidophilus and bifidus, and if they sink, you need some. Okay, that's just a little trick, because we all need to be our own doctors, and being your own doctors mean you have a little look and study yourself. So here is the carbon cycle. Now I want to take it somewhere you may never have taken it before. I want to take it into your body. Because the same processes that apply to planet Earth apply inside the human body. I'm going to give you a little scenario about a man named Joe, and he's a smoker. What's happening in his lungs? Cell damage. You'll notice everybody that smokes, what do they also do? They cough. And they're coughing up lumps, which is a result of the cell damage inside the lungs. So Joe is a smoker. He doesn't drink much water. He likes to drink too much alcohol. He's got a brother named John, and he says John is a fitness fanatic. He goes for exercise every day. He drinks 2 litres of water a day. He eats lots of fruit, fresh fruit and vegetables. And you know what Joe reckons? Joe reckons John has taken all the fun out of life. We're going to have a look at fun in a minute. Life should be fun, yeah? We shouldn't be walking around with droopy faces. The children don't like it. I often say to a mother, stand in your kitchen and laugh your head off. What will all your children do? They'll run into you. But have you ever seen a kitchen where parents are yelling? Where do the children go? Can't be seen. Long gone.